got Jeri Catherine Howell here, a very prominent musician in Frankfurt, but today she's wearing her Josephine Sculpture Park hat on, or shirt on, if you will. Yeah. Thanks for being here today. Talking to us about the Symphonic Stroll.
Yeah, thank you for having me and helping us spread the word.
Yeah. So it's the third annual Symphonic Stroll, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the third time we've partnered with the Lexington Philharmonic, a great nonprofit organization based in Lexington. And they're going to have 5 different ensembles placed all throughout the park.
Yeah.
So it's a really unique event.
So explain to viewers if I'm sure they've probably heard about the event now, since we mentioned they've done it for 3 years. But sort of explain what it is and what the process is kind of like, what folks can expect when they show up.
Sure. So Symphonic Stroll is Saturday, September 9th from 4 to 8 p.m. When you go to get your ticket, you'll have the selection of entering at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., and that's just to help us spread folks out throughout the park, staggering a little bit. So you'll come at 4 or 5 p.m., you'll get a program with a map and schedule of which ensembles are playing and where and at what time throughout the entire 30 acres of the park.
Wow.
So at that point, it's really a pick and choose at your own interest and where you want to go and which performances you want to see. So it has that feel of adventure and wonder and curiosity, and as well as really top-notch classical music performances. So it's magical. It's just a magical event.
It's hard to believe that this is the third year. I feel like it was just yesterday that we were talking about, we're going to try this thing. It sounds like fun, and we hope it'll stick. And so it seems like it has.
Yes.
Have you guys, have you learned things through the process where you think maybe, well, we've adjusted, or this is working really well, we're going to lean into this?
Yeah, definitely. This event has become a lot of our visitors' favorite event. So overall, we know that it is successful. It also opens up our audience to greater central Kentucky and even across Indiana, et cetera, nearby states. So we know that it's drawing folks in as a unique event. We know that people really like the adventure of it. That it's spread all throughout the park. One thing we're trying this year is some suggested schedule routes so that people can have a little bit more hand-holding or guidance in terms of a little bit more structure. Yeah. Some people like that.
Right.
Some people love the adventure. So we're catering a little bit to both. We will have 2 new things this year that we'll be trying out that we're very excited about. Dr. Keith McCutcheon, from a professor at Kentucky State University, world-renowned jazz pianist, composer, will be featured as a musician at Symphonic Stroll with Lex Phil's string quartet.
Oh, wow.
So we're super excited about that. Very special performance. And the second new thing that we'll be having is Melise Brunette, who is Lex Phil's new music director. We'll be doing kind of like pop-up introductions to the ensemble performances. So those will be 2 new things we're trying out this year.
Wow.
I will mention 2 other things we tried last year that are going to stick.
Okay.
And that is our interactive sound installation. So this year it's going to be on a new sculpture called the Porch Project, Take It to the Bridge by Heather Hart. It's like a multi-level sculpture you can actually get on. And Lex Phil's designing an interactive sound installation you'll actually walk up to, and you'll be able to touch and play certain music pieces.
Oh, wow.
So we're keeping that, and then that'll be all throughout the event. And then Lex Phil's also going to do their music lab again, which is a mobile studio for making acoustic and electronic music. They'll have staff there guiding you, and that's great for all ages and will be happening throughout the event as well.
I just like, my mind is blown with the amount of things that you can do just for like the price, and it's like a 4-hour kind of thing, right? You can go around and see all of it.
Yes.
What is, so you'll have different accompany, like quartets and different groups playing at the different sculptures, right? What has that process kind of been like for deciding what kind of instruments work best in certain
Places.
sculptures and places around the
Sure.
park. Yeah, has that been interesting to see, or have you been working with that in any way?
Is
or-
that like a year-long process, right? Like as you're walking around, you're like, you know what, this would be really good for that.
Yeah,
It sort of is. It's definitely in collaboration with Lexville,
Sure.
their staff.
Yeah.
And we start meeting in January to plan for the September event. And we do try to feature different sculptures every year. So it's part making sure that we're representing a diversity of sculptures, a diversity of artists who make those sculptures, as well as just logistically spacing them far enough apart to where the noise isn't going to bleed.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Also to where people can realistically get to the next performance site within a
Yeah.
certain amount of time. And then thematically, like what's going to be interesting for picking the music to go with the sculpture.
The piece.
Is there going to be enough flat space around it for people to stand or
Right.
sit or whatever?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving parts.
There is, yeah. I was thinking, Tim, I'm fascinated by it because me and my wife have been out there, and just amazing park out there. If anybody hasn't been to Josephine Sculpture Park, got to do that. You live in
you.
Frankfurt or around the area. But we love just interpreting what the pieces mean, and then what kind of personal meanings we have. So I can't imagine what it would be like to have musical accompaniment there, kind of helping build that interpretation too. And
Yeah. There's a sculpture we'll feature this year called Fly Away by Celine Browning, who's a New York and Kentucky-based artist. And all of the pieces there will be performed by a harp and cello duo. And all of the pieces will be related to birds because the sculpture is like a functional bird blind, something you can go inside and camouflage from birds and watch birds. So that's just an example
Yeah.
of how we pair them.
that sounds so cool.
So there are, did you say 5?
There will be 5 ensembles,
Okay.
oboe duo, violin duo, harp and cello duo, a brass quintet, and then Keith McCutcheon with a string quartet, plus the sound installation and the music lab.
Okay.
So those are the musical pieces.
Yeah.
Of course, you have 30 acres of over 70 public artworks you can also experience just while you're at the park. And we'll also have yummy food and drinks.
Okay.
There
Well, we like
available
yummy
for
food and
people.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Frankfurt Plant Board's going to have their water monster
Okay.
for us to all
Stay
stay
hydrated.
hydrated.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Wessex Brewing will be there with their delicious drinks. Pucker Up Lemonade's going to be there. Sav's Chill will be serving ice cream.
Nice.
And then for dinner, we'll have King Gyros and Amazing Gracie's.
Okay.
Nice.
That sounds really good.
But we do want folks to get tickets, right? Where can they
Yes.
go to get those, and how much are they?
Sure. You can get tickets and learn more at josephinesculpturepark.org/events. Tickets are just $25 for adults, and then students and youth are $11. And then also new this year, children aged 10 and under are totally free.
That's so cool.
That hits both
You-
of mine, so that's a super.
Great.
Get
So
that.
you still sign them up with a
Yeah.
free ticket just
Okay.
so that we know how many folks are going to be there. But we hope that it opens it up and makes it more accessible to more people to attend. You can also, if you have the interest in some free time, we'd love for you to volunteer. And volunteers just work for half of the event and get free admission the other half of the event. So you can come volunteer for half of the event, get a JSP t-shirt and some snacks, and then enjoy the event for free.
Nice.
And you can also learn about that at josephinesculpturepark.org/events.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure it takes quite a few hands and a lot of
It does.
people around to help get the event off
Definitely.
the ground.
And there's plenty of parking out there, and that's
Yeah.
going to be included in your ticket price.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, and for folks who might be worried about walking across 30 acres to find ensembles, we will have a limited number of 2-person golf carts available that you can reserve
Okay.
for mobility assistance getting around the event. So you can just call the park number, which is 502-352-7082. It's also on our website, and reserve one of those golf carts for you to use throughout the event.
Nice. Well, just tell us more personally for you, just being a musician, how cool has that been to see kind of music be blended into Josephine Sculpture Park, the other replace the other kind of hat that you wear. How cool
Sure.
has that been?
Sure. I mean, it's been amazing as a singer-songwriter my music is very connected to channeling or translating the natural environment. And it's really beautiful to get to do that in such an interdisciplinary way in my position at the Sculpture Park, but also with the Lexington Philharmonic. It's just kind of mind expanding. It's creatively, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, absolutely. Well, the third annual Symphonic Stroll is going on Saturday, September 9th, right?
Yes.
4 o'clock. It runs till 8, but you kind of want folks to sign up for a 4 or 5 o'clock sort of thing so
Entry
they can,
time.
they can see everything. And you can get tickets online at Josephine Sculpture Park's website. Jeri, do you have? We're asking folks about our question of the day. Are you interested in bourbon? Do you? Are you more like me into like breweries? Or?
Sure. So I've actually been getting into non-alcoholic spirits recently.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And there's a Kentucky-based company called, it's NKD-LDY, but it's like Naked Lady, and they take the A out.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So Naked Lady has a non-alcoholic whiskey, which I know it's not a bourbon,
Right.
but it's good.
Yeah. There was at the Noise for Jordan event. There was somebody there that had a like traveling non-alcoholic cocktail thing, and he did it out of
Mocktails.
his car. Yeah, it was mocktails. He
Oh,
did it out of
no
his
way.
car, and it was fascinating. But we had a couple that night, and that's growing. I think the mocktails
Absolutely.
are non-alcoholic options for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you go to a bourbon bar and ask for mocktail recommendations,
Yeah.
they could
Oh
give
yeah,
them to
absolutely.
you. So.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Jeri, thanks so much for being on the show again. The
Yeah.
Symphonic Stroll is Saturday, September 9th. Get your tickets today.
Thank you.
Yep,
See you there.
Yeah, thanks for being
Have a
here.
great weekend.